Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 40305. This is the LEGO brand store, and ironically this was released at LEGO brand stores. It was originally released over in London in early summer of 2018, and it slowly made its way to the United States. I think it started in like flagship stores like Mall of America, Rockefeller Center, Disney Springs, and for a while we figured maybe it'll just be exclusive there, but then it started to show up in most LEGO stores. I think there are probably some that it still has not appeared in, but I went on January 6th or something, approximately around then, of 2019, and it had showed up at mine finally, and I was not going to pass this up, because this is a really good looking set at only $25 for 362 pieces with 2 minifigures, and it builds up a LEGO store. I mean, LEGO stores are cool. There's a pretty cool box design for this, kind of reminiscent of all the other like LEGO store exclusive stuff that they do, like the weird games and the picture frames, etc. That kind of stuff, and also there's a picture there. But cool box design. I like it. It looks good, looks very LEGO, and it's a good thing. But let's take a look at the build. So the actual build of the LEGO store here is pretty substantial. It's got 3 walls. It's not just like 4 studs deep like some buildings that they do nowadays. One glaring omission right off the bat is, yes, these are the only 2 figures included. There's no employee, so I don't know, maybe these guys are actually just criminals breaking into the LEGO store and stealing all the LEGO while it's not open. Possibly, I don't know. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense, right? But the whole thing is built mainly around this 8x16 plate on the bottom, and it is completely open at the back. It's not fully enclosed, but you'll see it is modular and you can remove the roof, etc. And it's got detailing around all the sides. So if we start just here at the front, we've got the door here. It's built around the creator modular system that they've done for the 3-in-1s recently, where stuff is just put up on those 1x4 plates with 2 side studs. So I'll point out everywhere that you can remove stuff during the first part of the review, and at the very end I'll show you how you can rearrange it. But I do like the sticker here on the 2x2 tile that has the LEGO logo. That's cool. Works pretty well for the sign, I guess. It would have been really cool if they'd come out with, I don't know if this is what all stores do, especially like the standalone building ones. The only LEGO stores I've ever been to, besides the one in Disney Springs, which is kind of different, are inside malls. Actually, I guess Rockefeller Center is kind of a standalone building, but I don't remember what the sign looks like. But they usually have like a pole sticking out and then a cube that says LEGO on it. It would have been cool to see that represented here. There's a little flag here, which can be angled in and out. I don't know why the green flag in particular, but it's cool. Obviously the door opens. Then we have a big window display here, which shows some buildings. I don't know, maybe Palace Cinema? I don't know what that could be. I can't think of any blue buildings with red roofs. But then you have these 2 cars on the bottom. I don't know about a black car, but I don't know, maybe Caterham 7? I mean, I think they're probably just supposed to be relatively generic. Over here, we have a panel that can be moved out, but, from the outside it's pretty plain. On the inside, it's a pick-a-brick wall, but you'll see that better in a moment. And then, on this side, we have an ATM, which is just attached to the wall on some outside studs. It can't be removed, but, that's alright. And, it looks pretty alright. It has a computer screen printed there. We get another one of that piece in this set. And there's no, printed keypad or anything, but that's kind of supposed to represent that. And then, if we move up to the second floor real quick from the outside before we look inside, we have windows. There's one on this side. There's going to be an identical assembly on the other side that can also come out. From the front, these windows can't be moved, but we do have these flags that can be angled up and down. They're both red, and then, you could change the angle of these awnings if you wanted to. Maybe close up the store for the night by folding them down. But inside this, I have no idea what on earth that's supposed to be. And then you have a little fire truck, which looks pretty cool. It's a little bit odd that there are window displays on the second floor of something that's not super big that you wouldn't really be able to notice from the downstairs. But from here on the ground, you'd have to be standing down there and oh look, but, you know, whatever. And then, obviously, just another window that pops out. And then the roof, I like how they actually, you know, put a little effort into making the roof look good from the front. The sides are just blank, but I think that's okay. But the facade of it looks pretty cool. And while we're here real quick, I'll remove it because it's removable. I like how they've done this Lego brick on the top. You know, it looks really cool. And that's kind of supposed to reference the fact that on the bottom, like in the floor of a Lego store, you'll usually have a big light fixture that looks like the bottom of a Lego brick. It would have been really cool if they just put plates there in yellow so that it would look like the light. But I mean, it's not the end of the world that they didn't. That just would have been a cool extra little feature. But let's take a look at the interior. Down here on the first floor, you'll see there is a large 1x12 brick which is used as part of the assembly. You know, it doesn't get too much in the way of, you know, actually getting your hands in there. It would obviously be easier if this was not here, but you know, it's still doable easily with, you know, this bar in place, but I am going to remove it for the sake of this review, and I'm going to do the same thing when we get to the second floor, just so that you can see inside better. Up here, we have the window displays, and, you know, obviously the bottom ones are just on one brick tall. You know, it looks cool. It's interesting that you can actually access them from inside, and they're not, like, glassed off here as well, which they would be in a real Lego store. But obviously, I bet they didn't really want to dedicate that many pieces to it. Over here we have a little register. Again, odd that nobody can actually, you know, man the register because there's no employee. But, you know, it is, it's cool to get a little printed register here, and, you know, it definitely resembles it. And I do like how they actually have the pick-a-brick wall behind the register. You know, it's cool. And the pick-a-brick wall has a bunch of different colors. Looks cool. I like how they're all transparent, so it kind of looks like, you know, you still have the transparent outside of the pick-a-brick wall, if you know what I mean. And over here we have one wall of sets, which has some Ninjago sets, a city set, 2 friend sets, and on the bottom a little creator set. And you get 2 stickers of each different type throughout the set, so obviously both of the Ninjago ones and both the friends ones are here. But there is going to be another city and creator one somewhere else. And then here we have a plate designed to resemble the big giant Lego brick that, you know, you'll see in all Lego stores. They'll have like one of those right by the door. So cool to see that. It would have been nice if it was a real like 2x4 brick, but you know, I get it. And then in here I would assume is probably going to be just filled with the random bricks so that people, you know, customers can just, like little kids who come to the store can just build some stuff up. But that's pretty much all there is to the first floor. And the second floor here has a couple different things. You again have the rest of the Lego boxes on the back, 2 junior sets plus the remaining creator and city set that I mentioned, and then you have the 2 large displays here. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Best guess is a sort of train, but if it's a train it looks awful. So, I don't know, this is the weirdest thing in the set to me. I have no idea what else that could be. It's so weird. But then we have this little bin here, which appears to be one of those things that would have like the, you know, I don't know what they're called, but like the real kid accessories, like the shields that they do for like Nexo Knights or the weapons for Ninjago. You know, that's where these kind of be, and they, you know, in the store they are generally just thrown in bins in the center of the store. So, kind of accurate, kind of cool. Nice inclusion here. Over here we have the Build a Minifigure bar, and it's built around one of these 1x1 bricks with the 4 side studs, and they all have a clear thing on them. That's, you know, good and pretty accurate. It has a minifigure on the top, which I don't know if that's accurate. I actually haven't paid close enough attention to be able to tell you. But I kind of wish that this was twice as tall. I just had 2 of those. Yes, it would have been tall compared to the other stuff, but it would have been just a little bit more accurate. I don't know. There's more than 4 sections. I mean, I guess this is scaled down. It's okay, but I don't know, I kind of would have liked to have seen a little bit more there. And again, you have the little awnings on the inside, which these are actually how they're able to pull off the windows coming out. I didn't mention that with the pick-a-brick wall, but, you know, just having the slope allows it to come out relatively cleanly. And, yeah, I mean, you know, some good stuff here, and kind of has all the main elements of the Lego store, you know, between the 2 floors of this set. And before we look at the figures quickly, just, you know, as far as the moving stuff around goes, you could move the door here, make it kind of a longer store rather than a wider one. This would remove the fact that the pick-a-brick wall is behind the register. So, you know, you could also move the pick-a-brick wall up to the second floor if you wanted to, near the Build a Minifigure, and then move just a window section down here in the bottom floor. Again, I don't know. I mean, none of these designs are particularly great to me. I think that the original one looks better. I think the best thing you can do is be able to move the door. I think that's the only one of the features is actually, somewhat useful. But, I mean, having the ability is nice. Also, I didn't mention these little scroll bricks. They're kind of cool. But let's take a look at the figures real quick. And there are only 2 of them, and, they aren't, like, crazy special. This torso is relatively uncommon. First appeared in Fun at the Beach. But it's appeared in a couple other places. This torso is pretty common, and his face is relatively common. One of the child ones, and there's no alternate expression for the other guy. It's cool to get that hair, I guess, but, they both have back printing. They're both decent figures, but, again, I think we really needed an employee figure in this set. I would easily have gotten rid of one of these 2 and just added an employee instead. But, for what they are, these aren't bad. It's just, I mean, I guess you could pretend this guy works there and he just does not like to show up in uniform. I don't know. I think a 3rd figure is the only thing that could have made this set better. But having no employee minifigure is not going to stop me from recommending this set. First, 1 instruction manual. It's nothing special. And there was an interesting thing where there were 4 bags included. They were numbered 1 through 4, but you'd open 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 at the same time. So, kind of useless and kind of weird there. But, back to the actual assessment of this set. For $25, this is a no-brainer. Like, the 362 pieces, this does feel a little bit smaller than 362 pieces, but it's a sizable thing for $25. Like, to compare this to, say, I don't know, I can't think of another $25 set, but for example, if we're comparing this to like either the $20 Ninjago sets, Cryptarium Prison, or Throne Room Showdown, this is, much more significant than both of those. It's got some good height to it, has some good depth to it, and, actually, looks good from all angles. There's a lot of interior space, actually, and I think they were very generous with that. They could easily have made this far less deep. They could have made it 4 studs deep, and I think they would have been able to pull it off still and get everything inside that they tried to, but no, they gave us a good amount of depth here, and it overall feels definitely worth the $25 price point. And obviously the number of pieces is really, really good for, a set of this size. I do think that a 3rd minifigure of an employee would have made this set must-have, but the employees were given away several times, so it's not too hard to get one of those. There's also the VIP Lego store set that included a minifigure of an employee. So if you got one of those, you could use that here. There are ways to get employees that could go with this. It just would have been really, really nice if they went ahead and included one here. But as far as the actual set, I think that this is probably the best version of a Lego store that has ever been made as a Lego set. It's the only one that's like minifigure scale and, actually, has all the full features of a Lego store. They did that one that's given away at store grand openings that has the single minifigure, and, it's only 1 story, and it's like, I think it's like 8x8 or 10x10 or something. And, it has everything, but it's really small. This one, I think, is much more significant and much better for play. And, overall, I think that this is a really, really solid set. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.